Good morning, Breakfast Clubbers. Lee Litvin has been helping business people with their social media since he graduated from Chico State in 2017 with a degree in business. As a rapper and producer, he shows people how to grow on social media in a stress-free way. He has an email list of 3,000 with an open rate of 30%. He has 14,000 followers on Instagram, 2,000 on YouTube, 5,700 on TikTok. Lee, I'm so pleased and thrilled to introduce my son, Lee Litvin, and to thank him for jumping in last minute when our speaker couldn't make it. I'd like to welcome Lee.
Thank you.
So Lee, just to start off, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your origin story?
Well, first of all, thank you guys so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here every morning on Wednesdays. I mean, every Wednesday morning, my mom comes in and goes, GGBC today, and she's always very excited. So I'm honored to be here. So my origin story starts when, I was 14 years old when I wrote my first song. Well, really, I was much younger than that, but I really began taking music seriously at age 14. At age 17 is when I decided that I was going to make music my full-time career. And it's been about 10 years since then. And I've gone through ups and downs, learning about not just music, but I've learned a lot about marketing on a lot of different levels, not just about social media, but email marketing as well, and different things like that. And today I want to just bring you as much value as I possibly can. I don't want to come off as, someone who is this branding expert that has this information that you can't have. I'm learning this stuff just as much as you are. The times change very quickly. Platforms change quickly. I have to adapt just like everybody else on this call. So don't, be afraid of social media. It's fun if you make it that way, and you can bring a lot of value to your potential clients, your current clients, and yourself. So I'm excited to get going.
Okay, thank you, Lee. What can you say to people who have trouble coming up with a social media strategy?
So that's a great question. It's not easy for anybody to come up with a social media strategy. What you want to do is you want to make your social media strategy organic to you. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure to be on tons of different platforms and you got to do it all. You don't have to do it all. You just need to pick one platform that works really well for you and just try to carve your space out in that platform and be very consistent with your messaging and consistent with the amount of content that you post.
And that was tons the volume, not tons the weight.
Yes.
Patricia, what is your biggest strength when it comes to social media?
I would say my biggest strength when it comes to social media is being authentic on camera. I've gotten much better at that thanks to my mother, who has helped me a lot with my public speaking skills. And I would say my consistency as well. I'm not great at everything, but I am pretty good at being really consistent and posting frequently on social media. So I would say those are my biggest strengths.
Okay. So what does it take to build a strong following? I mean, you have 14,000 followers on IG, 2,000 on YouTube, a huge email list. What does it take to get there? Some of us might have like 100 followers or 500 followers. How do you build all the way up like that?
That's a really good question. First of all, it's not about the amount of followers you have. I mean, it's more about the quality of the followers you have. So, if you're just trying to get a lot of followers, it's not that hard to do that. It's not that hard to get somebody just to click the follow button. What's more important to us is generating revenue. We're entrepreneurs. We want to make money. So sometimes, and I'm a rapper. So a lot of rappers don't understand that, and music producers too. They lose sight of the whole building a business thing. And they say, well, I just need a lot of followers because that seems like that's the right thing to do. Right. But they don't know how to convert their followers to customers and repeat customers. So for all of you watching and listening, don't just focus on, okay, I have to get a lot of followers. I don't even want to come and speak about that. The thing that's important is, how do you get your message across? How do you put your heart on the table for people watching you so that they trust you? That to me is what's important, is, are people going to trust me? Do they like me as a person? So I don't use social media just to get a lot of followers. I use it to literally build friendships. I mean, like I said, I'm a musician, so I get a lot of enjoyment talking to other musicians. But in my own town, there are not tons of musicians all the time. So I go to the internet to make friends with musicians who are like-minded. And that's my goal, is let's just be friends. Let's be acquaintances. Let's talk on the phone, share ideas with each other. Let's hop on a FaceTime. That's what it is for me. And that method has turned into dollars for me, because those people that I've nurtured those relationships with have bought stuff from me, and it helps. So when it comes to building the question you asked was, how do you build a strong following, which is the right question to ask. That's different than saying, how do you build a big following? So in my opinion, you should practice building a strong following first. Once you've got your system down, once you understand how to build a strong following, that's when you can start to scale and start to build a bigger following. So
once you have somebody quote following you, how do you engage them and build relationships? You said you might hop on a FaceTime call. What are some of the other things you do to really strengthen those relationships? Because a lot of us are posting on LinkedIn every day, like we're supposed to do. But really, how many of those people do I have a strong relationship with? Right.
That's a really good question. First of all, don't get burnt out. Don't get burned out with the amount of work that you have to do on social media. It's pretty simple. Just there's Craig with the Banish Burnout Toolkit. My mom wrote. That's why I said burnout.
I know. They know.
So every day, take 5 minutes and just go find a random follower, or I don't know how it works, your connection on LinkedIn. And just message them randomly. Hey, so-and-so, really great to see that you're still doing your thing. Keep up the good work. You use your own lingo if you don't say doing your thing, but just whatever. And like I said, it's a friendship. So how would you speak to your friends? When somebody follows you that's new, go check out their profile. Do 2 minutes of 1 minute of research on their profile. Just scan their profile. Message them right away when they follow you. Just build a connection with people. If you use a platform like Instagram, which I don't know how many of you are taking Instagram seriously, but the point is there's capabilities on Instagram, like doing an audio message. I don't know if you can do that on LinkedIn, but you can do that on Instagram, where you record your voice and send that. So any kind of unique way to message people, you can do it. And another unique way is just having a conversation, saying, hey, shoot me an email. Let's talk on the phone. Here's my actual phone number. Here's my Zoom link or my Calendly link, whatever it is, and really talk to people. You're going to, it's going to benefit you a lot.
I was going to wait till the end to take questions, but my brilliant friend, and I'm happy to say good friend, Tim Durkin, has sent us a question. What do you think is the best platform for business, and what do you think of Clubhouse? We were going to get to Clubhouse, but you can take that now. So what is the best platform for business, and what do you think of Clubhouse?
Well, I think it totally depends on you. I think I'm sure you're asking because you're looking for a specific platform, but really it totally depends on what you do and your brand and what your business is and what you're offering people. There's a new platform you guys just asked about called Clubhouse. It's a great platform. It's a great way to build relationships. For those of you who don't know what it is, I'll give you a quick rundown. It's basically like having an audio chat room. There's no video, no photo capability. You create a room, you can speak with people. It's a lot like Zoom, actually. The thing I kind of like more about Clubhouse is I think the bandwidth, like the connection, the actual like audio connection is a little better. Sometimes Zoom has lagging issues, and if you get too many people and you're in the wrong room. But so I think Clubhouse is better, but Zoom is a little more professional. So I think Clubhouse is great. Clubhouse is a very exclusive app. You can't just download it and make an account. You actually have to get invited from someone who has a Clubhouse account. Yeah. So So Clubhouse is great. It's very exclusive right now. And I think it's something that can benefit you. I use it. I have a room called Creator Works. It's for musicians. And we meet every Tuesday at 8 a.m. And we've been doing that for, I think, 4 months now. And it's been great. So I think Clubhouse is great, but it depends on you. I've seen there's a guy who offers financial advice, and he must be in his either 60s or 70s. He's this British guy, and he offers financial advice on TikTok. And he does this thing where he pretends to be two people. You know, he pretends to be like a millennial who has no idea about finances. Then the screen will flip, and then it's him giving advice. And he's an older person. So TikTok, people say, oh, that's just for young kids who do dance videos. But this guy is offering financial advice. And interestingly enough, I just saw him on a commercial on TikTok, an app that offers you the capability to buy stock, paid him to do an ad for them where he talks about the app. So he actually made money from it. So all I'm saying is, don't just think, oh, LinkedIn is the obvious answer or Clubhouse is the obvious answer. It's really wherever your fans are at and wherever your potential clients are, you could use any of them.
Okay. Yes, building relationships. So if somebody is completely intimidated or they're just too busy, a lot of entrepreneurs are so busy making connections, going to meetings, hopefully speaking at meetings or whatever their business is, that they don't want to just take on this another big thing called social media. When should someone hire a social media coach or consultant or assistant?
It's a great question. First off, I think when it comes to being afraid of social media, I completely understand that. You know, again, I'm labeled as a millennial, so people usually think, oh, he's automatically an expert because he was born the right time. And like people younger than me were born with Snapchat and Instagram, so they automatically are experts. So first off, that's definitely not true. People are not automatically experts just because they're younger. It's completely based on what you've learned and what you know. So when you're looking to hire somebody, let's talk about just a coach first. I would recommend learn a little bit of it on your own, just so you understand the jargon and you understand the purpose of whatever the platforms are. So you also might want to just understand that every platform is different. They all have different capabilities and purposes, and building a following on those platforms is based on what those platforms want from you. And every platform is different. So what you'll do on Clubhouse is completely different than what you do on TikTok and what you do on Instagram. So when you're looking to hire someone to do the work for you, if that's something you want to do, again, do a little bit of research on your own and understand it. And the reason I say that is because I've seen a lot of business owners I'll ask them, you know, hey, who do you do social media? Yeah, my niece does it. My 16-year-old niece, she just does it. Or my daughter does it. She's 19. So again, a lot of people automatically assume that they know what they're doing. And you also want to understand that they might just be posting on your social media for you, which you can post on your own social media platform for you. You don't need to hire someone to post for you unless they're creating the content too. So there's a lot of different aspects to social media. There's also the paid advertising side, which I think we'll get into in a minute, but that's something that you want to vet the person, make sure they actually know. So don't just hire your niece or your nephew or your son or daughter if they themselves don't have a substantial following, if they themselves are not entrepreneurial in their social media ventures. So I would don't just hire someone because of that.
Tell us, I'm not very familiar with using TikTok, and I'm guessing a lot of my comrades aren't either. Tell us a little bit about TikTok.
Okay, well, TikTok is a newer platform. I think it's about 3 or 4 years old. It's a great platform. It's really, really taking over social media right now because I think the main reason is because of a concept called organic reach. Generally, organic means free. When we say organic reach, that means you post something on the platform, you don't have to pay any money, and it gets seen by people. So Instagram and Facebook basically don't have organic reach almost at all anymore. They're paid. TikTok still has a very strong organic reach. That means that when you post something on TikTok, it has the chance to go viral. You know, I posted a couple of videos that got 400,000 views. I didn't know how I did it. I literally just posted the videos. I was posting every day. A bunch of my videos got a couple hundred, and then one day, boom, these 2 videos hit and they got 400,000 views.
Yeah.
That's not possible on Instagram with no following. That's not possible on Facebook.
Right.
So I like TikTok for that reason. TikTok is still rewarding people for consistency and frequency. So I love it. It's video based. You can also see how other platforms are reacting. So Instagram has a feature called Instagram Reels, Reels. They did that just to compete with TikTok. They had no plans of doing anything like that. They were going long form content. TikTok took over. Instagram's copying them. YouTube has a feature called YouTube Shorts. They're now copying them. So TikTok is kind of, you know, the new popular kid on the block, if you will.
Okay. What do you think of using paid ads on social media like Facebook or Instagram?
So paid ads is a very volatile topic because it changes a lot, and a lot of people are afraid to put money into paid ads, which totally makes sense. I think paid ads are great. It's not the only thing you should depend on. You should also post content and make connections.
Right.
So another mistake people make is they only do paid ads. So I think paid ads are great. And the other mistake I see people make is they kind of just want to dip their toe in the water and say, well, can I just start with $300, $400, $500? And you can, but you kind of have to understand that you have to test it, and you have to the only way to learn is by putting money into it and learning what it is that you do. What exact copy, like words, do you use that will convert? You might be able to copy somebody else's copy, as in replicate someone else's process. It might not work for you though. So it takes some money and time and patience to understand your whole process. Something else people make the mistake of doing is they'll put that money in, $500, it won't work. And they'll go, oh, Facebook ads doesn't work for me. But maybe it's your website. Maybe it's your landing page. You know, people have said that to me, Facebook ads don't work. And I'll say, okay, send me the website you're sending people to. And there's no headline. There's no attention grabbing headline. They'll have a picture in their logo right away. That doesn't grab people's attention. There's no sales video. There's no sales letter. I don't know where to press the button to purchase what you're selling. The purchase button's way at the bottom. So when they say, oh, Facebook ads don't work, I go, no, your sales page doesn't work. Right. And the Facebook ad might not work too.
Right.
So keep that in mind. Facebook ads is not a strategy. Facebook ads is a tool that is a part of your overall strategy.
Okay. So, and to piggyback onto that question, do you think we need to worry? Some people in some classes I've taken say, you got to have a funnel. First of all, some people might not know what a funnel is. I mean, they know what a funnel is for making orange juice, but they might not know what a social media funnel is. And do we need to worry about a funnel?
That's a great question. So a funnel is just a fancy way of saying sales process. So we all have a sales process. Car dealerships have sales processes. You walk up to the car lot, you look at a car, maybe the car dealer or the salesperson comes up and says, do you want to buy that? I mean, it's all a process. So, you know, yes, we all have, and so all of us have it. And it's either there and great. You might have it and it's not working well for you, which is fine, or you don't have one. So you have to wrap your head around the fact that you need to know how to go get customers, bring them into your world and buy stuff. So what is that process? So the word now is funnels. And like, that's basically just a way to do it digitally. You know, we have the Facebook ad, and then you can take people to a website, or you can take people to a landing page and get their email and sell them later. I mean, everyone's sales process is different, but yeah, you know, you need a sales process. And I think funnels are a great way to do it.
Okay. So now someone has set up their account on, let's say they choose one social media channel, because that's advice I've been given. Just pick one, because there's so many to choose from, and pick the one that you think your followers are going to be on. For me, that's LinkedIn. And I think true for a lot of business people here.
Okay.
What should we be doing with it? Other than trying to accumulate a lot of followers, what should we be posting? What should we be putting out?
That's a really good question. I'm going to first, before I answer it, recommend a book called Traffic Secrets that if you want it, that will answer that question very well. You should all get it. Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson. I guarantee you'll be Motivated and Inspired. So Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson. He gives out a strategy on how to do it. But essentially, what you want to do is you want to identify the purpose of the platform. So for LinkedIn, I think it's for business. I don't use LinkedIn, but business professionals to connect in a very professional way.
Right.
So let's say, let's use you for an example.
Okay.
Really quick. Let's use you for an example. You're speaking to people on health and wellness in the workplace. So what you could do is you could go to groups that have anything to do with health and wellness in the workplace and find people, DM, or I don't know if you call it DM.
Yeah, we call it DM.
Okay. It goes down in the DMs. Cool. So, and you DM people.
For those who don't know, that means direct message.
Yes, direct message. Thank you. And DM them and start building those connections on a daily basis. And I would recommend post content on a daily basis. It doesn't have to always be original. You don't have to make the content. It can be, hey, I found this great article. You might want to check it out. So you have to identify the platform's purpose, and then you need to start building connections, and you need to post content. And I'm going to just say this really quick. The amount of content you post is also different for platforms. For YouTube, for example, if you want to post once a week on YouTube, you can totally get away with that, because on YouTube, the content can be longer. So you can get away with that. On LinkedIn, you can't get away with just posting once a week. I mean, you can totally. But if you want to really grow and take it seriously, you've got to post at least, you got to do it every day. Honestly, if you do it 5 times a week, that's okay if you want to take Saturday and Sunday off, but you got to post every day, because the content is shorter. It's micro, it's smaller content. Right. It doesn't last that long. So you've got to post more frequently. And I would say that would be, it's not that hard. There's not a magic bullet. There's not this magic strategy that came from Mars. You connect with people, you post content every day, you do it a lot, and you got to have your sales process figured out.
I have to say there's one, since I'm obviously focused on burnout, almost every time I post something about burnout, there is a doctor who's on a campaign to end, and his brand is Ending Physician Burnout. And every single time I post, he comments with something very heartening and very supportive. And we've actually become friends. I delivered a book to his house, and now I'm going to set up a one-on-one Zoom call with him so that we can talk about burnout and build a stronger connection so that we can help everybody end burnout. But that's an aside. That's
great. No, that's proof that social media works. You didn't pay any money for that connection.
Right.
When he hires you to speak, you just got that speech for basically for free. You didn't spend any money. So it's a great example.
Okay. This is a good one. Can you give us an example of 1 or 2 success stories of people you have helped with their social media?
Yeah, I can talk about a client that I had in 2020. He was a real estate agent local to our area. We bumped into each other before COVID had started. He was actually my high school basketball coach. So we bumped into each other at a basketball event. Just, he said, hey, what are you up to these days? And that was when I had started my social media agency. So of course I said, I'm doing social media for local businesses. I didn't pitch him though. He said, that's perfect. I need help with my social media. I was like, great, let's meet up. Let's talk. We had our meeting, and he said his goal was he wanted to sell 2 homes per month in 2020. So his goal was to sell 24 homes. We did social media, posted about 1 to 3 times per week. He ended up selling 25 homes, and he attributed it to the social media work that we did because he said he was top of mind. And the work we did was pretty minimal, actually. We didn't do advertising. We didn't grow a big following. I didn't even reach out to people much. It was simply, I'm creating content for him. I'm going on site to open houses and filming him and posting it. I mean, it was pretty simple, easy work, but people would always go up to him and say, hey, I'm seeing your social media posts, man. I really love that. That's great. And he got referrals that way, and he beat his goal of 24 homes. So it was huge. And it was in 2020 when, things were pretty crazy. So it was good. Yeah. I would say another success story would just be my own. Before 2020 and 2019, I began selling beats to rappers. That's the background music that rappers use to make their songs. And I didn't know really anything about any of this stuff. And in about a year, I grew my email list from 0 to 10,000 people, which was great. And then since then, I had to chop it down. A lot of people just weren't opening the emails. So now I have an email list of 3,000 with an open rate of 30% and a click rate of 1%. A year ago, that wasn't that wasn't a thing for me to have people responding to emails and opening my emails. And I've converted a lot of those fans to customers, and it's been really great. So I would say that.
How did you build your email list?
So the way I built the email list was just paid ads, just Facebook ads. I had an irresistible offer. It was 15 free beats. So that means 15 free different instrumentals that people could use. And it was free. You can't refuse free for that much. So that was how I built the list. The lesson I learned from that, honestly, was yes, building an email list is super important, but it's not as important as building a customer list. And I say that because a lot of these rappers had no intention of buying anything from me. They were very, very, very low hanging fruit. And anybody will take, 15 free beats. That's a rapper. They might sign up and then completely forget that they just signed up and wouldn't even listen to the beats, which you don't want. So Sometimes I say, yeah, let's build an email list. But other times I'll say to people, let's send people to a really low ticket offer. That's maybe $1 or $5. For me, I'd rather have an email list of 1,000 people that bought something for $5 than 10,000 who haven't bought anything yet.
Right.
Because these 1,000 people bought something, and it's easier to get people to buy something a second time than it is the first time. So that was the biggest lesson I learned.
Okay. Getting back to success stories.
Okay.
Some of you have heard this story, but just in case, tell them the story of helping me brand with my own branding.
I walked in here and you're working on some book, and I said, why don't you make a book called Banish Burnout?
It wasn't quite that simple. We were having a series of meetings about my social media.
Yeah.
And we were talking about branding, which we haven't talked a lot about yet.
Right.
And I was writing another book called Wellness Workdays or something boring like that. And it was taking me like a year and a half, and I was just writing a little bit. I wasn't very motivated to write. And I had already been doing this speech called Banish Burnout. And then
I said, why don't you make a book called Banish Burnout? Because that's your speech.
It was like somebody hit me over the head, or a bolt of lightning struck me in the head. I couldn't believe I hadn't thought of that myself. And took talking to my child to come up with that idea. Okay, we have about 4 minutes left. Cool. Let's see if we have any. Well, we're going to take a lot of questions from the audience in a moment. How many social media channels do we really need to worry about? There's Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn, and I forgot all the Twitter. We didn't even talk about Twitter, which I don't understand very well at all, except posting. But how many do we really need to worry about?
Such a good question. Just start with one for right now. Start with one. If you have no experience on social media at all, just do one. And just dominate that. And when I say dominate, I don't mean take out your competition. I just mean carve out your space, do what you do really, really well, and fulfill the needs of your potential clients better than anybody else. And what's funny about that is, for me, I'm not the best rapper. I was never the best producer, but the thing that would make me the best to somebody else is the amount of care. That was literally it. If I cared more than the next producer, I was going to win, even if their beats were better. So again, get on a phone call. Like, I would get on phone calls with rappers and say, hey, how's your marketing going? And I would just literally give them a free call for 15 minutes, for 30 minutes. There was no other producer that was doing that. None. And it helped me a lot. It helped me build my email list. It helped me get more customers. I ended up getting coaching clients. I would coach artists on their marketing simply because I was saying, let's just get a free call first. And if they liked what I had to say, I'd go, hey, do you want to hire me to coach you? I wouldn't say hire. I would do a bit more crafty of a process. But the point is, if you care more, then you will win. And I think a lot of people, especially me, I had this mistake too. I was worried about me. I want to grow my following. I want to sell my product. I want to get rich. I want to, whatever it is. And it's okay to have those intentions, but if you truly feel that way, it's going to come off in your content. You're going to make content that's too spammy, that's too I don't know, clickbaity, like just too much trying to get people to see you.
Right.
But if you switch your brain, and for me, it took a lot of soul searching, that if you switch your brain and switch your intention to say, what can I really do to serve people? What am I going to be excited to help people with? For me, that's helping people like you with marketing. I love helping people with marketing, and I love helping musicians as well. And so I'm excited. I will do that for free. I'm here doing it for free. I'm, genuinely passionate about it. If you are having trouble with that, you're not doing the right thing. If you're not passionate about helping people with the thing you're saying you'll help people with, it's not the right thing for you. So
I just had a thought. So it's one thing to build an email list of prospects, but you said something that sparked an idea for me, and that is create a special list for people I've already served, because a lot of us in this room are speakers or other kinds of consultants we do a speech and we move on. We do these one-off. But what about keeping connected with just that select group and creating a unique group on my mailing list program to keep in touch with them and let us know, well, here's the latest findings on burnout. Did you hear about this? This is what's going on here and there. I don't know why that didn't occur to me. Okay. All right. So it's now 8:30. Before I open it up to questions generically in the room, how can someone reach you if they want to ask you more questions?
Oh, good question. Well, you can shoot me an email, which is lee@leezythegifted.com. I'll spell that for you. That's Leezy gifted, lee@leezythegifted.com. Shoot me an email. I would love to, do a phone call with each and every one of you, a 15 or 30-minute call, because we're probably not going to have time to get to everybody's concerns. And I would love to just give you your own strategy for free if you want, just because I love doing it. So yeah, shoot me an email and let's connect.
Thank you so much for joining us and filling in at the last minute. Literally, I had 24 hours to find another speaker, and I had this brain.
You just walked into the kitchen. You found one.
The kitchen. I said, "You have a unique opportunity," and he grabbed the bait. Back to you, Mr. President.
Well, thank you. And first of all, Lee, that was awesome. I have to say, there's a number of us, many of us on this call that we are professionals that use a lot of the social media, and we do a lot of marketing, and we, we're I guess in our fields of expertise, we're kind of considered experts in marketing and social media. But the fact is, it's like, I was so excited to hear what you had to say. I was like, I want to hear what, top marketers are doing all the time. And, you had some great ideas, and I liked how you closed it. You were talking about just really caring more. I think it really boils down to that, because if you care more, it comes out. And so thank you for pointing that out. And I'm sure Antonio is going to have some things to say about this as well.
I want to acknowledge somebody in particular who just made a comment, and that is my darling friend, Ilma Gutierrez. Ilma's daughter and my son graduated the same day at the same college in 2017. And I was in the same major, business. They never met each other, but I just want to acknowledge Ilma.
That's cool. Thank you, Craig.
You're welcome. All right, who has a question? I see Patricia has her hand up.
Both hands.
All right. Well, congratulations and thank you for stepping in at the last minute.
My pleasure.
Do have a director of social media who works on the strategy, and then her assistant does all the postings. We do 8 tweets a day, three posts at least on LinkedIn every week, and our focus is LinkedIn and YouTube. Now, my question is about YouTube. I have nearly 600 videos, and we have lots of followers, and we get lots of views. 18 months ago, most of the highest percentage of my followers were younger men between 24 and 35. Now, the last probably 8 months, it's been men between 55 and 64. Now, of all my viewers, 98% are always men. universally in my career, I've always heard from my clients, Patricia, men like you, women like you, younger people like you, mature people like you. How would I get more women who follow me 50% and 50% on Twitter? How do I get more women to like me? Because your mother likes me on YouTube.
That's a great question. So, first of all, how many subscribers do you have on YouTube?
I'd have to look it up, but nearly around 10 or 12,000, I think.
Okay.
However, most of the people that watch me are not subscribers. They come from recommended videos.
Right. How do I get more? You know, you
Women.
could literally make a video just for women specifically. What's your content based around exactly? What are you speaking on?
It's all on presentation skills, sales presentations.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could literally make a video that's just for women, that has women in the title. You could
That's
just
a great idea.
if you
That's
want to
an
start doing
idea. We could have a channel that's just for women.
Yeah.
Yes.
You could
Even
just
if
have
men watch it.
right.
Yes.
Well, you could have a playlist on your already existing
Yeah.
channel, and the playlist is speaking
we
for
do. Yes.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
would
I meant playlist, I think.
yeah, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do. And it's funny, I was on Clubhouse yesterday and a fellow female musician asked the same question. How do I get more women to follow me on, I think it was either Instagram or YouTube? You could consider going on and finding different podcasts or other YouTube channels that are centered for women. You could find other female entrepreneurs on YouTube and do some kind of a collaboration with them. That's another way to do it. I always like to try to tap into other people's audiences. So
Collaborations.
yeah, you could try that as well.
I love that idea of saying this video is for women only.
Right.
I love that.
The only thing I would say is if you do it that bluntly, you might end up losing, you might lose some of your existing subscribers. So you might want to maybe, well, Patricia, you're an expert speaker, so you'll do it in an eloquent way, but just don't lose out on the people who are already subscribed to you. Great. Do we read these questions?
No, I'm just taking a
Okay.
look to make sure we didn't miss any questions in the chat.
Okay. Great.
Lee, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you hearing of any other social media, apps or anything that are kind of coming up that are, I looked into Clubhouse, for example. People really like that, but I just didn't see it. I didn't get it. So anything else that you might hear that's around the corner?
Yeah, I mean, I think my focus right now is just on TikTok right now.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my biggest focus is.
That's where your market is though, right? I mean, I think that's the demographics favor TikTok in your business.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that necessarily. It depends on, like I had said, it depends on what your business is. I think, you could, I don't know about any newer platforms coming out. I'm actually usually pretty late to catching like the platform. I'm early on Clubhouse, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think TikTok is a great one just because of the capabilities, but yeah.
Antonio, we haven't heard from you.
Actually, so Craig, just to answer your question, Spotify Green Room is a new app you might want to.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
I just heard about that too. Thank you. I like
also
that
looked
mic,
at
Antonio.
a free plug. I actually am on the team with the #1 room on Green Room right now.
Oh, no
Last
way.
night. We just got covered in Business Insider article last night on that room.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
Congrats.
but besides that, I just want to tell you, Lee, how proud I am of you. You are an absolute rock star. I just want to celebrate you and congratulate you on wonderful thinking and strategy and your demeanor, your approach, and your great information. I've been at this for a long time, and I can spot a winner when I see it, and you certainly are one. So very good job, and keep up the great work.
Thank you, Antonio.
Thank you,
It means a
Antonio.
lot to me. Thank you.
Me
Okay,
too.
and I'm going to jump in here and say, and congratulations to Mom, who raised
Yes.
a smart, nice, good, kind son.
That's right.
All those years of worry in school.
Yeah, that's funny. Thank you guys.
All right. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw something in. Jane Fonda did a TikTok, and now she's 82, and she went on TV and she said, as she was doing the TikTok, she said to them, "You may not know who I am. Google me."
That's funny.
That's very funny. She's always been ahead of her time.
I love that.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this week at the Breakfast Club, and thank you, Lee and Janice, for
Thank
for
you.
sharing. We had a great presentation.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much. We were nervous.
Yeah, you
Thank you
did
for having
great. You did great. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording now, and I'll keep the room open for a few minutes if anyone wants to chat or go over anything else. So you guys have a great rest of the week.
Thank you, Craig.